And by way of a kind of a palate cleanse here, I don't know if he's ever been referred to as that, the human palate cleanser himself. Benos, he's going to tell us what that is in Portuguese in just a moment. Nice big round of applause. Here he is. You're a sorbet, mate. You're a human sorbet.
Sorbet and raw mushrooms. That's me.
What? Raw mushrooms?
Yeah, they can be used as a palate cleanser as well.
Oh, check you out. Not only can you speak Portuguese and teach us as well, you know a little bit about the food, the art of food as well, don't you? I didn't know that. Mushrooms as a palate cleanser.
You can use raw mushrooms as a palate cleanser, yes.
My goodness, we won't be doing that this morning, will we? We're
No.
learning phonetic Portuguese. Can you help actually, before we start with that, how are you doing? What's going on? Is it hot in your part of Portugal?
It is incredibly hot. I haven't had my morning coffee yet, so I'm still a bit slow. I've been relegated to water. It's far too hot for coffee. And I've been very busy as of late, Carl. I've been manically on the computer looking at what people's biggest problems with Portuguese have. I haven't even had a time to shave or anything. I've come here with my non-iron shirt and tie, a bit like an ill-prepared supply teacher, really.
Let me introduce you to Mr. Austin, who's your supply teacher today, and he's going to teach you Portuguese with his particular angle on this. Oh, the renewals. Hold on, Mr. S isn't finished. The renewals. Yes, we still have to deal with this bureaucratic nightmare, don't we? And maybe the task force will do that. A task force has been promised, Mr. S, to sort all of that out by October, the middle of October. The human palate cleanser. Let's come back to you, Ben. It must be that smile. Bon dia to you from Bob. Right.
Bon dia,
Phonetic
Bob.
Portuguese. What's all this about then? What are the biggest problems people are facing with Portuguese, and why is phonetic Portuguese the answer to that, Ben?
So this goes back to a personal belief of mine. I think the way we're taught language is completely backwards. For instance, when I went to Germany and had to learn German, the first thing they taught me was grammar and how to build a sentence, which is all fine and well. But I couldn't pronounce
a form of torture. It's a torture. It's not
more verbs in Portuguese.
Yes, absolutely.
So I thought, as someone who does speak Portuguese fluently and English fluently, I thought it falls on my shoulders to kind of make a difference here. Nice. So I'm gonna get closer to the camera now and be very noble and move my head a lot like this.
See what you did there. Yeah, very good, very good. Moving in to establish trust and rapport with the audience. Excellent.
Exactly. Ethos, pesos, logos.
What? That sounds like a really good strapline for some cigarettes.
Greek cigarettes.
What did you just say? You're teaching
it's like it's a marketing thing, isn't it? When you're making a speech or when you're making an advert, you have ethos, pesos, logos. So emotion, relation, and logic.
And you've got the lot. You've got the whole package. Right?
I try.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Back to front. As I know, so I think we're basically on the same page wavelength here. This A2 thing, the idea of learning Portuguese by sitting in a classroom, like in a Portuguese school, which takes people back to their own school days, learning grammar first, and coming out of that, my standing joke, what does A2 mean in Portuguese? It means I can't speak the language. There's a conceptual understanding. Maybe people of a certain age don't retain information. They're doing it to be tested. The worst kind of education, as far as I'm concerned, remembering facts to be tested, which you'll never use again for the rest of your life. That's not the best way to learn a language, is it?
Exactly. It's like the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. When am I going to use that?
What? You've just used it, Ben. But I
guess give you an example.
But I get your point. I get your point. Yes. So you're thinking, okay, there's a better way to do this, and you think you found it.
Definitely, I do. Right. It's from personal experience as well. Like when I was in Germany, I found the best way I'd learn is try to break down how people are pronouncing words, which for me was quite easy. I'm pretty lucky having a bilingual upbringing and having I speak Italian as well. So it was quite easy for me to pick out the little sounds and everything and kind of build a phonetic base. And then from there, I noticed that my German grammar and my grammar in other languages as well just skyrocketed.
Right. Okay. Very interesting. You're still streaming on the Savvy Cat channel, so you've become part of the Savvy Cat team this morning. You're a supply teacher over there as well, offering a service to the Savvy Cat clients as well. Excellent. Matty finished his A1, A2 course yesterday, up to B1, B2 in September or so. And how is it when you go to the cafe, Matty? Because this is what we're talking about, isn't it, Ben? What is it like when you're talking to your neighbours? What's it like when you're in the cafe? What about the restaurant? What about when you're doing your bureaucracy? Are you speaking the language? Are you engaging?
Exactly. So I think what I'll do is I'll start sharing my screen and I'll show
Go on.
everyone what I have prepared for today. We'll do the
All right. I'm going to
entire
put you on
screen.
this side of the screen, so I'm with the comments here, and
Okay.
over to
Again,
you.
you are my eyes and ears when it comes to the comments. I can't see anything at the moment. So you'll be familiar with this, Carl. This is what we went through last time over here.
Yeah.
And I think I was quite ambitious to put this much into one show. So for
Yeah,
this
because
one,
we ended up doing a load of British comedy as well, didn't we? For some reason, I don't know what happened.
yeah, no, it's the way these things go. So
Yeah.
I've prepared something a little bit different for this, and I think something that'll be a bit more engaging with an audience, the live stream audience as well.
Okay. Good.
Something that really helped me when I was abroad was kind of memorizing scripts. So if I went to a restaurant, I knew what I had to say when I went to a restaurant. If I had to go to a pharmacy to ask something, I'd know what I'd have to ask for, what the questions would be that they'd ask me as well. So I thought today it'd be fun if we
Brilliant.
worked together on a few scripts. Now, for dramatic effect, I've blacked out all of the themes that I have here today.
Look at
So,
you.
yeah,
Right, okay.
I've always had an ear for the theatrics. Oh, forget that you saw that. You didn't see that.
I think yes. Carry on like nothing happened.
Exactly. So to build up the anticipation, if we could all get a bit of an imaginary drum roll going on here.
We don't need an imaginary one. We've got a real one. If I can find it.
Oh, we do.
No, not.
You know what? That's appropriate enough. We'll stick
hold
with
that.
that.
We'll hold that.
So
Hold on. No. I've got a drum roll somewhere here.
we do.
Here we go.
There we go. Going to the cafe.
Yes,
Yay!
oh my god.
So we'll
barely
pretend that
contain myself. Right,
we
okay.
pretend that all went smoothly. Right, so first off, going to the cafe. So what I thought we'd do today is centered around this theme. Let's produce a bit of a script together. Let's work together on this. And people in the comments as well, if you want to put in what you'd say or what your replies would be or what you've encountered when you've been in this situation, we'll put that
Yes.
into here as well. And we'll all work our way around this very complicated language together.
Yeah.
So,
do it, folks. Do it. Engage, because this is where you'll really learn something.
okay, so I'm going to take the part as the cafe owner here. I'm polishing a glass of some sort or something. I put it down. I notice you, and I will say, "Bom dia," first of
Bom
all.
dia. Olá, bom dia.
Bom dia. O que vai ser? So that means good day. What will it be?
What will it be? That's fantastic.
What is your go-to order when you go to a cafe, Carl? What is your...
Well, of course, I'm going to respond with a "Hola, bon dia," maybe a "Tudo bem," depending on if I know you or not. Ole!
Ole! Hola, bon dia.
I never shout "Ole" when I get, or maybe when I get my coffee, but not as an entry point. Yeah, so I would now. I've become accustomed to saying, instead of "Queriam café," I might say "Pode ser," like asking for something a little bit different, right?
Yeah, you can do that as well, and it's quite good actually, because I'm in the habit of going "Queriam café," to which
Yes.
a response is often "Carioca," which is a joke that really gets on my nerves, quite frankly.
Yes. Well, as in, like, I would like. Oh, you would you? Is that
you would.
joke?
It's not so much you would you, because queria would technically be in the past, so it implies that you no longer want it. However, technically, it's the polite way of saying it.
Oh, okay. All right. And that's where these conversations come to a grinding halt, when the Portuguese bar owner makes that joke and you do not know what on earth is going on, and everyone else in the cafe is laughing.
Exactly. That's when it can get a bit embarrassing. So
Right, okay.
now we know how to navigate a way around that. What was it you said again? Sorry, I've already forgotten.
Well, queriam café ou pode ser meia de leite, faz favor?
Pode ser uma... There you go, another thing as well. Uma meia de leite, because a lot of people order a cafe not knowing that will be a little shot of espresso that you get in your morning.
I feel a bit shortchanged.
I think we've all been there at least once, where we've gone to a cafe ignorant of the fact that because you look it up on Google Translate, coffee, café. Okay, I'll ask for a coffee, expecting someone to ask, "Oh, do you take it with milk? Do you take it with sugar? How do you like it?"
Yes.
And we order our cafe, and we get this little espresso at the table, and we're overcome with an air of utter disappointment.
Yes, I remember the first espresso I ever ordered with my friend Johnny when we were teenagers. What we were hoping for is something we could nurse for about half an hour in a cafe. But when the half full or half empty, depending on what sort of person you are, when the little cups arrived and they were only half full of bitter, strong coffee that should be downed in one, we were a little bit disappointed and never did that again. Okay, Mr. S is in the spirit of this. Bon dia. Meia de leite. Escura. Very interesting. He's going for the escura hybrid there, por favor. or order a café
Meia de
cheio.
leite.
So they're up to speed with this. A couple of the
Escura.
people in the chat. Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it's a very, it's good. We all used to go into cafes. It's a good opener. We do have some more, let's call them not so much peculiar, but more specific themes that we'll get to later on. But I do like the addition of meia de leite escura. If I were to order a meia de leite, that's how I'd like it as well, with a bit less milk in it.
Okay, so escura means stronger, does it?
Escura would mean darker. So you're referring to the color there. So, of course, if you add less milk, it becomes a darker coffee.
Right. Okay, there you go. Escura. Good little bit of lingo to know there. Thank you very much. We're learning a lot already. Thank you. We're only one sort of interaction in, aren't we?
So we're only one sentence in so far. Yeah, we've covered multiple topics. So let's start from the beginning, recap, and then we'll add to this. So, bom dia, o que vai ser? And to which you would reply, Carl.
Olá, bom dia. Tudo bem? Pode ser uma meia de leite escura.
Uma meia de leite escura. There we go. Got to have that escura.
Escura.
Yeah, if you break this word down a little bit, if we do it into syllables, the famous phonetics, this is where they come in.
Yes.
We have escura. Cool. We've already talked about this little syllable over here quite a few times. The funny one.
The cool, yes.
So we got the soft E with a sh sound, almost like you're shushing someone. Sh.
Yeah.
Ish. Cool. So the standard C, k, and then U with the rolled R, like we practiced last time. What did we title it? I think it was the Manuel from Faulty Towers R.
Yes, we did. That's why we went down that avenue. Yes, indeed. Yes. Now, if I may draw our attention to the tendency maybe to say España, it's ish, isn't it? With an
España, with a softer E, yeah. España.
Yes, E. Okay, good. Right.
Although there must be some accent out there that says ish. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a very regional accent, probably in the Alentejo, which says España.
Okay. Yes. So in this instance, Ishkura.
Ishkura. A soft E. When you say Ishkura, you're pronouncing it almost like you would an I. Ishkura.
Okay. All right.
But you can't go to a cafe and just order a coffee. You have to have something to eat as well with it. That'd be blasphemous to just have a coffee.
Sim, verdade. Torada, faz favor.
Okay, so let's take away that and also all of these little bars we put here. And we'll add uma torrada, se faz favor.
Uma torrada.
Uma torrada. And you have to show a bit of gratitude here towards the end of the sentence. So what would we say to add a bit of gratitude to this?
Se faz favor. I go with the se faz favor. Or faz favor. Yeah.
Se faz favor. So you're like me then, because you could either say se faz favor or por favor.
Do you know why I don't say por favor?
Why is that, Carl?
Because it sounds Spanish. And very early on in my acculturation here, this message of like the rivalry between Spain and Portugal. So I avoid anything Spanish so as not to foster the ire of my Portuguese correspondence.
That's a good way to be. I don't know what I've fallen into the habit of saying se faz favor, and I can't tell you why. Genuinely, it just sounds a bit more correct to me.
Yes.
It sounds like the right way of saying things.
Yeah, I've gone with that, and I almost swallow the "sir" as well. It just does come down to "faz favor."
Faz favor, yes, faz favor.
Yeah.
You do say it, when you're speaking to a Portuguese person, they do say it, but it's so quick. You wouldn't say faz favor, faz favor.
You have to lean your head
a bit when you say
it. Faz favor. Okay.
You have to lean your head a bit when you say it as well. But you know that Portuguese spoken 50% with the mouth and 50% with the hands and all the body language.
Okay.
It's important to warm up a little bit and.
When you're here next time, can we do some of that? Can we go? Okay, brilliant.
That'll be good. We'll be doing a little bit of it today as I talk on. I have the awful habit. I've got to be very careful with how I say this next word, gesticulating. So.
I'm glad you're in another studio.
It does help.
Beauty of online. Right.
So for that I would reply, claro, com certeza.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
Certainly.
Yeah,
I'm spelling certeza.
Very good.
No,
morning, Jackie, by the way. While Ben's doing that, morning to you, Jackie. Lovely to see you.
Com certeza. Quer que eu levo... I do apologize, my camera's shaking a little bit. A mesa.
Yes, the passion is coming through. Okay.
It's just my desk is a bit wobbly, that's all. So, if I say, claro, com certeza, quero que eu leve à mesa, what would you reply to this, Carl?
Oh, muito obrigado, and go to the table.
So yeah,
Or
okay, you'd
should
say
I-
thank you very much.
yeah,
I think a more correct way of going about it would saying sim,
yeah,
se faz favor.
yeah.
So yes, please. And then of course you have your muito obrigado.
Okay, so that's like, would you like to take a table? So you
This
responding to that?
this here means would you like me to take it to the table? So
Oh,
once
okay.
I prepared your made late and your lovely torrada with far more butter on there than there ever should be for your heart even.
Yes, definitely.
I would ask to take, I'm requesting to take it to your table.
Okay,
So
that's
you
good. Now, sometimes am I not just given a sort of sentar? Goes.
You can. That's a good point as well. Yes, you
Yeah.
can say pod instead of this sentence here, pod sentar,
Yeah. Okay.
which is more of an instead of a question, it's a bit more of not so much an order but an affirmation. You can sit.
Yeah. Yeah. Go sit. Go and sit down.
Go sit down.
You're making the place look untidy. Go and
Yeah.
sit down. All right. Okay. Excellent.
So after this, a bit of time passes. Of course, you're on your table, you're scrolling on your phone, and then, as if by surprise, because it's always by surprise, you never expect it. It always arrives at the most unexpected moment. You get your coffee. So at that point, the staff are most likely to say, "Aqui tem," with a Q.
What a lovely phrase.
Aqui tem with a funny little. That's not the right accent, is it? It's this one. Still getting used to using a Portuguese keyboard here. Aqui tem.
Some of us will never get used to using a Portuguese keyboard.
Uma meia de leite.
All right, aqui tem.
Escura.
There you go. You got it. You got it.
Uma torrada.
Torrada. Right.
Uma. Right. It helps if there's a little separation between there. So, of course, you would like the natural response. This would say thank you. So obrigado or muito obrigado. We'll just stick with obrigado this time.
Mm-hmm.
But this is also an opportunity here for you to create a bit of conversation with the person behind the counter. It's always a good idea when learning Portuguese to get well established in your local cafes.
Yes.
It's such a social environment, and people are so, if you make the effort to learn the language, everyone becomes so open to talk to you, and everyone will want to talk to you as well, which is a great thing. So a good tip for learning Portuguese is perhaps it doesn't have to be a daily trip, maybe once every 2 days, go down to your cafe, have a bit of a coffee, try create a bit of conversation with a bit of rapport with the person behind the counter, with a few members of staff, or even with the locals that are visiting there.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. This is something I'm very grateful for in San Martin de Porto. Shout out to Nelson at Palmeira, where we have our meetups. And we howl with laughter when it gets to a point where you can see I'm not understanding what's going on. And he's very patient, and people are joining in the cafe. Great advice, Ben. Get to know a cafe where you're not only going to get fed like physically, literally, but fed culturally as well.
Exactly, and most cafes will have bread as well, so it's and it's really good. The bread in Portugal is just gorgeous, so definitely buy bread from your local.
Pau, casual.
So, right, getting back on track. This is your opportunity to establish a bit of an icebreaker. How should we go about this?
The weather.
The
British.
weather.
Yes.
It's very British, yes. So we could comment on the weather. I think that maybe something a bit more appropriate would be to ask if they've been working at the establishment for long.
Oh, okay.
That's a bit more. It's a bit more relevant to to the theme of the cafe here. So, how do we go about asking that? Any ideas? Anyone in the comment section got any?
Come on.
Ideas?
Yeah, I don't want to take all the heat here. How would you ask in the cafe if the person has been working there a long time? It's like being in a taxi, isn't it? And asking the taxi driver if they've been busy today. So yeah, have you been here long?
Yeah, I do quite enjoy my taxi rides here in Portugal. I do enjoy talking to I'm a very extroverted person naturally. I enjoy talking to the person in the front seat, and I tend to sort of make up a different backstory for each different taxi that I'm in. So I could have been a boxer, an actor, whatever. And it just creates a bit of conversation.
I'll
just make up a story.
Do you? You rascal. And you've got taxi drivers to this day saying, yeah, I had that boxer, Ben Austin, in here the other
exactly.
day.
The professional boxer.
Nice bloke, actually.
Fixed my tyre.
Right. Yeah, stripped down to the waist and changed my tyre. Lovely bloke. Right. Yeah, I don't know how to say if you worked here long.
If you worked here long, so, right. You could go with trabalha aqui muito tempo. So that being, have you worked here for long?
Okay. Trabalho aqui há muito tempo. Okay, that's good. That's
Um,
yeah, and this is what you were saying before. If you commit this to your memory, you got a little script to go at, haven't you? You've got something to fall back on.
Exactly, and you can refer to this as sort of exactly. You have something to fall back on. Couldn't have put it better myself there. It
Yeah.
helps to have these little things in your head. So one for the cafe, one for the pharmacy, one for when I go to the bank,
Yes.
one for when I go to the doctors. Just these little guides to a conversation.
Yeah.
It's almost like a sales script.
Yeah, and they're building blocks as well, aren't they? Because you'll pick up parts of these phrases and make hybrid phrases, and it will be the start of the Lego blocks of your language skill.
Exactly. So you could take something like this. You could add different sentences to it. You could modify it. And what we're doing here is what's most likely going to be said. It doesn't necessarily mean it is what's going to be said. So you should also be ready to adapt to different responses as well.
And remember where you are, because if you go into the cafe and say your pharmacy one and say like, could I have some pile cream? It's gonna be pretty awkward, I would have thought.
Yeah.
But Portuguese people are pretty cool like that.
It's like, oh god, we were talking about this the other day on
You were?
I was doing another demo. No, sorry. When I say we were us here at the house.
Right.
There's this funny story of my dad going into a shop to order. He had a camera.
It's funny already.
He's gonna
It's
kill me
funny
for he's gonna
already.
kill me for saying this story. I'm gonna go
Yeah, tell us.
once I've done the show. He's gonna come out of nowhere and just
He
strangle
is.
me.
Yeah.
So he needs batteries for his little camera that he carries around with him, and he goes into a shop. And I remember very distinctly him. I was sitting in the van waiting for him to come back. He comes back in a bit of a mood, like, how do you say batteries in Portuguese, Ben? And I go, pilhas. Yeah, that's what I said. When I said that to the person behind the counter, they started laughing at me. And it gets me thinking, and I like, Dad, did you say pilhas or did you say pilas?
Oh.
So he goes pilhas because he can't pronounce the l properly. Now, for context, pilhas, like you're supposed to, what he meant to say, means batteries.
Yes.
Pilas means multiple penises.
Did
So
he come back with a bag of multiple penises? Was he in Caldash? Because in Caldash that could have worked.
It could have, yes.
Yes, yes.
No, he didn't. I think they understood what he was trying to say, but to avoid any comical situation where you accidentally order a bag of penises, the syllable "yeah" is very important to learn in Portuguese.
Thank you. That's the gem of today's transmission. And if you are the sort of foreigner who's got a load of bags of assorted penises back at your house from the constant confusion that arises in this exchange, you have our sympathy. But pilhas, you need the
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thank you for that. I'm
Actually,
sorry
quite.
to hear that, Terence.
Yeah, you're actually
He is-
quite good at pronouncing that. That's a
he is
good syllable. Most people struggle with that.
Okay, pilhas. Okay, good.
Yeah. So anyway, carrying on with this because
We do get so easily distracted, don't we?
we do. We go off on one too easily. So how would I as the cafe person, server, reply to this? Trabalho aqui há muito tempo. I could go, sim, estou cá. If I could type correctly, that would be nice. Estou cá. Let's say 3 years. 3 anos.
Right, okay.
Okay, to which you could reply, é muito tempo. If it's a younger person, you could say, pronto, já é muito tempo trabalho aqui. É desde criança, ou é a sua família que é dono do café. That would mean is it your family that owns the cafe?
Yeah.
At this point, the response could, it's up to you to what you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
How would you reply to this, Carl? What would be, I've been here for 3 years.
I quite like a bit of sort of banter and bonding. So I might say, so boa trabalho, or something like that. Would that be okay?
Bom trabalho.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Bom trabalho.
Nice one, mate. It kind of translates as nice one, doesn't it? As much as like good work, literally.
It's a bit more good work, literally. If you wanted to say nice one, no, how do I say nice one? You could just say boa.
Boa. Yeah, okay.
Boa. So we could go with either or here.
Yeah, okay.
Boa.
Yeah.
Right, I think that opens us up for our next topic, which I wrote quite late last night, so I've already forgotten what it is.
The big review. Do you need another drum roll?
Yes, I think that'd be good. Let's build up the anticipation a little bit.
Okay.
trip to the pharmacy, of course it is.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know about you, Carl. I don't know about other people in the comment section. I find myself in the pharmacy quite a bit. I suffer from hay fever, so at least once every 2 weeks, I've got to go down and get my prescription for antihistamines.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
So should we operate off that basis? Yeah. Let's go to the pharmacy to get antihistamines.
Okay. Let's do that.
All right. Good. So when you go to the pharmacy, usually you take out a little number and they'll call you up, won't they? So this would be me.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, an important cultural note. Yes. Take a ticket.
Take a ticket.
Yes.
Yes. So you've taken your ticket, you're in the queue, and now it's your time to come up. Let's say you're number 15. So what they will say either over the speaker or they'll just shout out is número. Let's say you're 15.
Número 15.
Balcão.
Okay.
Balcão 3.
Balcão 3, sim.
Número 15. Balcão.
Cashier
3.
number 2, please, as you would hear in UK. Yes. Or
Please mind the gap.
Cashier number 3, please. Yes. Okay.
Exactly. So you walk over to the counter, and of course, you open the conversation with the traditional
Olá, boa tarde, perhaps.
Olá, boa tarde. Excellent. Olá, boa tarde. You could also say bom dia, whatever you fancy. It also depends on time of day as well. Bom dia usually refers to morning. Boa tarde would be afternoon.
And do you concur with the idea that you say boa tarde after you've had something to eat, as in your lunch?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, all right.
It's something that I've gotten a bit of. Oh God, it wouldn't really be feedback in English, would it? It'd be a bit of not necessarily backlash, but when I say boa tarde to someone, a quite common response is, ainda não almocei, então é bom dia. I haven't had my lunch yet, so it's still bom dia.
Yes, yeah. I quite like that. I quite like that sort of, knowing if somebody might be hangry, or they're sort of they're what's it called? Their hyperglycemic state. You can tell whether it's a bon dia or a boa tarde.
Exactly. Food's very important. Remember to eat.
Yes.
That's your daily reminder.
You give so much value here. It's incredible. Matty doesn't have to get a ticket. When I enter, they already know what antihistamine pills I need, as the only one product is made. Milk in antihistamines. The things you learn on this show. My goodness. Okay, yeah.
We've gone through so much today. We've learned that milk's in antihistamines. We've gone how to go to a cafe, how not to order a bag of penises. There's so...
Do you know, when people meet you in real life, you're going to get hugged. You saved the day. You enriched my life, and that's what it is to be a teacher, Ben. So enjoy it. Enjoy it.
You've taken me out of my pessimist supply teacher mood. Now I'm now really feeling it. I'm feeling the vibe of the class. I'm feeling like I've got a sense of responsibility and duty here.
I feel like it's a Dead Poet Society. You've gone from that situation of being a transient supply worker to being a much loved professor.
I'll be standing on the tables in a minute.
You will.
Yeah. Which is not really a good idea. You see, I'm in very much what I call live stream attire, where I've got the shirt, I've got the tie on, and underneath here I've got a very casual pair of shorts because it's quite hot.
Well, at least you've got
I'll be refraining from standing up, at least from this live stream.
Good man. Best language immersion Bob's had recently is the fellow resetting the cobbles. The Calçadas operative. I've been giving him agua frio the past 2 hot days, and he's off and running with conversation. That's fantastic. Good engagement, Bob.
Excellent.
Bon trabalho there to you.
Excellent community spirit and building there as well.
Yeah. And try a beer at the end of the day. How about a Sagres Mini at the end of the day as well? I'd recommend that.
About 5 o'clock, they won't say no to a Sagres Mini.
Absolutely.
Who said no to a Sagres Mini here in Portugal? That's blasphemous.
It is. He'll take it anyway.
Right, so back on track. So you've gone boa tarde. At this point, you would say what you need as well from to the person behind the counter. Mm-hmm. So we're here for antihistamines. I don't imagine you know how to say antihistamine. Do you suffer from hay fever, Carl?
I don't, but I would probably. So, I would go for a literal translation of antihistaminos.
Yes, that's exactly it. So you'd need antihistaminos. I'm probably spelling that wrong, but let's go with it.
If in doubt, do that, right?
If in doubt, do that. The dyslexia kicking in. The dyslexic Portuguese teacher.
If in doubt, just put your ush on the end.
Exactly. So, boa tarde. So you wouldn't just say antihistamines. That's a bit rude, Boa tarde. Antihistamines.
Oh, tem antihistaminos.
I was going to go down a different route there, but I quite like yours. Tem antihistamínicos.
Yeah.
Antihistamínicos. Either, yeah. Tem antihistamínicos. So, at this point, you're at the pharmacy. You've ordered your antihistamines. Your first time in here, so they don't know you. They don't know what brand you like. So they're probably going to ask. They're going to say, "Sim, temos," and they'll in turn ask, "Tem alguma preferência?"
Oh, very good. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a preference? The preference referring to a brand or a type.
Yes.
Preferência.
Alguma is a good, useful word as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Alguma meaning some.
Yes.
You have a or some.
Yeah.
A preference. So, sim, temos. Tem alguma preferência? To which you would usually reply, you could say not necessarily.
Certo, sem leite, faz favor.
Oh, yes, exactly. Certo. Sem lactose or sem leite. Sem lactose, se faz favor.
Oh, I can see myself getting a bag of penises and some antihistamines I don't need at this rate. That's a party, isn't it?
This is just the value I bring with these lessons.
Best party ever.
I'm going to put that. I'm going to put that. Of course, the Snagwishman. I'm going to put that on a poster with me like pointing at the screen, very much Uncle Sam like. You need to learn how to order a bag of penises.
Or not. Yeah, or you could take that other approach. Don't end up like this guy. And then just an AI image of a man surrounded by loads of and anti. Anyway, no, let's not do that. Let's carry on with this lesson here.
Exactly. So, sem lactose, faz favor. And the response to that is, most pharmacies will have it. Would be sim, claro, claro with an L.
Claro.
Sim, claro. So, starting from the top, I'll do the part of the pharmacist. I'll say, número 15, balcão 3, se faz favor.
Este meu, how would you say that's me? Este eu?
Sou eu.
Seu. Okay, so it is I.
We can add that little moment of panic into our script.
Yes.
I'm
not scrolling on my phone. You mentioned scrolling at your phone at Café. I'm not doing that at the moment, thanks to Eric. Yeah, I'm having a bit of a digital detox. So I am in the moment and awaiting my number here. Seu eu. Okay.
Sou eu.
Seu. Olá, boa tarde. Tem antihistamínicos?
Tem antihistamínicos. I think we could do that. So you say seu. Seul's a different word. Seu would be yours. Este é o seu casaco. These are two different things here. So sou eu. It is me.
It is I. Okay.
That's me.
Sou
eu.
Okay. Sou eu.
Then moving on, you did really well. Olá, boa tarde. Tem antihistamínicos.
Okay.
To which my response would be, sim, temos. Tem alguma preferência?
Certo. Sem lactose, se faz favor.
Sim, claro. Then I'd turn around. I'd go off screen.
Open the drawer up. Yeah, they always have these little drawers at the back, don't they? Where they know exactly where to go.
Or if it's a really particular item, they have the massive room with all the drawers in the back as well.
Yes.
I think they keep the common ones at the front and then the less common ones at the back.
Yes, that's right. And waiting for that moment to be able to shout out, does anyone know where the small condoms are? Yeah, that's a different day.
Patricia, where do you put the hemorrhoid cream?
Sorry, I don't know what's come over us. Ben, we do need to draw to a close.
Oh God, have we gone over the allotted time?
Little bit of a signal there. The buzzer's going to go, and the class will pile out of the door, and the supply teacher will be left standing there with only the three polite students saying, "Thank you very much for teaching us today."
The bell doesn't excuse you. I do.
I don't want to cut you off in your prime, and we need to conclude this farmacia conversation, but also we need to know how people can engage with you and have as much fun as I did this morning. So let's do the farmacia, and then let's find out how people can enroll in the academy, the Phonetic Academy.
Okay, perfect. So let's try close this up quickly then. So what I'd say is, so I'm the pharmacist. I've come with the box. I'd ask you if this is the correct one.
White coat, nice white coat.
Este que quer.
Yes.
Without the second Q there. São estes que quer. To which you would say, you'd inspect the box, get out your monocle.
Yes, that's what I do when I'm in town. Yeah,
exactly.
Get
Get your magnifying glass.
Yes.
I do visual comedy as well. I've got
You
all
do?
my props here.
Yes, very good. It didn't go unnoticed.
Yeah. São estes. You would go sim. São esses.
São estes. That's a useful phrase right there. São estes.
Esses. Not
They're the ones.
estes. Estes would be these ones, so something that I can physically hold or something that's in my realm of reach. Estes, and esses would be over there. So
Oh,
it's the
those
pharmacist that's
then.
holding them. Yeah, these and
Yes,
those.
São estes. Okay, very good.
São esses. Okay. To which would say, perfeito. What would it be? Isso vai ser. So that will be. I forgot how much mine cost. About 7.33, I think. 7,33 euros. It's a good.
Morning,
It's
morning,
good price.
Peter. I won't be putting your comment on the screen, but the morning to you.
Isso vai ser 7,63 euros. At which point, at this point now, you'd hand over the money, you'd pay, and that would be the transaction complete.
Okay. Again, muito obrigado. You're very relieved because there's tears streaming down your face at this point. You can barely see.
Exactly. Your eyes are swollen up and puffy due to the high amounts of pollen.
You're looking like Will Smith from that dating movie.
Muito obrigado.
And everyone gives you a round of applause as you exit the farmacia.
Exactly. Everyone's like, wow.
And you walk into the door. You walk into the display in the front window.
The glass door. And someone turns around and says, hey, he's been clearly learning Portuguese phonetically.
That's right. And he needs some ibuprofen now as well.
Exactly.
Ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen. All right. So that about wraps. Of course, you'd say you're muito obrigado, and that about wraps up our little script for the pharmacy as well.
That's it, Proxima, for my regular order in the brown paper bag next week, which we will cover. Ben, that's been great fun again, and it's almost like a proper school period of 40 minutes there. Except to say, how can others have the same sort of fun that I've been having with you this morning? How can people how are you delivering this?
So I'm currently on. I did start a Facebook page for this. It's just Learn Portuguese Phonetically on Facebook. I can try if I can send you a link. I will currently. Learn Portuguese Phonetically. No, this is going to take a bit of time to load now.
Yeah, no worries. Well, we'll make sure everybody's got that, and it complements beautifully our efforts of our kind of boot camp that I'm jumping into again on Monday with Maria. This is fantastic. I think you need all the help you can get, and I would recommend the conversational, the active, the immersive as a way of not putting you off for life. Would you agree? I mean, it's so important to get some quick wins, isn't it? And have some fun with this rather than be beaten down by grammar.
Oh, definitely. I do find that when you get to Portugal as well, people follow a certain path, and it's always the same story where I started learning the language, and because I'm doing the basics at first, I'm absorbing things incredibly quickly, and everything's going, wow, great, consuming information at an incredible pace.
Yes.
But that's going to slow down when you get to the grammar and when you get to the things that are harder as well. So it's very normal to feel unmotivated and very easy to be unmotivated by this because you've gotten used to such a quick pace of learning and consuming information. Suddenly you're slowing down and it feels like you're not making any progress.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't want that. Keep going, keep having fun. Jackie made a very good comment. I speak Portugal's second language. This is absolutely true, Jackie. Perfectly. It's laughter. Portugal's second language, laughter. You definitely get that, and you'll experience that hopefully in the cafe that you choose as your informal learning environment. Bon dia, Carl. Great to catch you live again. Good to see you here, Jackie, as well. I've not seen that link yet, Ben.
I'm struggling a little bit with it. I will say, but I think I've got it up here.
Put it in the private chat rather than directing into the comments. And also, I'll make sure that what we'll do is we'll have a segment of this as well. So we'll make sure parts 1 and parts 2 are available for you to share with whoever you want to, and people can get the benefit again. So there you go. There's the Facebook group. Thank you, Peter, for being here as well this morning. Good to see you. And thanks to everyone who's joined us this morning. I did something similar in German. What I meant to say was my feet are sore. What I actually said was very rude. Let's not go there right now. Let's just thank. Ben's trying to figure that out. He'll get back to us on that.
Going back to my Fuß ist something.
So much. Yeah, you had a great time in Germany, didn't you, with your sore feet or wherever that was. Thank you very much, Ben. Really great fun as ever. Very helpful and useful. There are things that I'll remember in there. Really appreciate you and what you're trying to do to help people here. Last word to you then this morning as we go into our Bom Fim de Semana.
Bem, muito obrigado por me teres aqui, Carl, e boa sorte a aprender português.
Muito obrigado, Ben. You're a legend. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm really looking forward to part 3, which might be a bit of body language. And I'm sure whatever we do, it'll be fun. So see you then. And lots of love to all the family, including your dad, who's probably going to forgive you for sharing that story of the big
Oh,
bag.
no, I'm in for a beating now.
Okay. Good luck, Bosso. Ciao, ciao. Muito obrigado. And have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you. Goodbye.
In Portugal, there's a huge